Please welcome Beth Williams up here. Beth, I've known Beth for years, and she was instrumental in starting the Jesus Lunch, right? And then all of a sudden, you got this yada thing. How did that happen? What is it, and how did it happen?
So the Yada project started because my husband and I wanted to give our kids a different perspective of what missions was. So we said, we're not going to Disney, we're going to volunteer for a month at different places in the world, and we just wanted them to get a different perspective of how is God at work. And so that started about 15 years ago, and so we've gone all over the world, and we started working with, I can talk loud, we started working with, oh, I might have pushed it, sorry.
There's a red light on this.
Oh, sorry.
Does that mean anything?
Yeah, you're good. Sorry.
It's on. Is it red? Yeah, red means good. Okay.
Oh, it's not. It's bad. So anyways, we started working with women and kids throughout the world that have been trafficked, and that just started to raise my awareness of it. And meanwhile, back here in Madison, I started meeting with Marlene and Abby from Every Daughter, and I started to become aware of what was happening here in Madison, and I had no idea. And so during COVID, I kind of got this stir of like, well, we can't travel anywhere, but I still feel like we should do something. I have 2 teenage daughters, and as you hear about the stories of trafficking, you're like, what would I want somebody to do for my daughters? And it would be something, just do something. So I'm not a therapist. I don't have a lot of the giftings that would be for doing something big, but I have teenage daughters that like to go thrifting. And so I've started to put that together and talk to some people and said, what if we had a place that was more boutique style that we could invite these women to come to, that was more just welcoming and kind of create a community that they could come and be a part of, and have it be a shopping event instead of just taking them to St. Vinny's, not that that's bad, but whatever, all of those things. And so that's what we came up with, and it has been amazing. It's been so cool to see how God has been at work. Fred asked me to share a story, but I'm actually going to pivot just a little bit from that story to a different story.
You've got the microphone.
And that was your first mistake. Just kidding. But I have these 2 worlds that kind of collide, because I also am part of the Jesus Lunch that is in Middleton, and we have 430 kids this past Tuesday that come hear a message about Jesus. They get a free lunch, and it's been super cool. We also have a Thursday group that Chase is part of, and we just kind of reach out to kids that want to go a little bit deeper. And it ends up that the kids that come on Thursdays really have no idea of what the gospel is. They've never read the Bible before. It's been super cool to watch that whole thing unfold. And there's a kid that's been coming to this Thursday group for 3 years, and he is a punk. He's great, but he's just a punk, and he never goes to class. He always shows up, eats lunch, swears a lot, and we just love him. And so we're like, we're glad you came, you know. And so at the beginning of this year, I said, you know, did you go to church over the summer? And he's like, no, I'm just so busy. I could never do that. And did you guys even read your Bible? Remember we talked about reading through John for the summer? And he's like, no, I'm way too busy. I don't have time for that. So in the course of the next couple minutes, I started telling him about this car care clinic that the Yada Fair Trade and Resale is doing. And so we have the women come in and bring their cars, and there's a group of guys that come and change their oil, all of that. And the women come in to shop, and we just have a whole event. And it's been super cool. It's been a great event. And this kid from Jesus Lunch is like, I love working on cars. I work at O'Reilly's. Do you need a discount? And I have seen him go so far, and he's like, yeah, like, maybe this is what God created me for. And you're like, I feel like my worlds have collided, and I think this might be the first time I've told this story without crying, because I think it's amazing to see how God is like, listen, it's about people, it's about relationship, it's about investing in God's kingdom, and however God has gifted you, He'll use it.
Excellent. Well, are you going to tell us a story about the woman that came in?
Oh, I can. I didn't know I got 2.
Yeah, we're a little ahead of schedule. I want to hear that story about, yeah.
Okay, so during this car car care, there's this gal that came in, and we've gotten to know her. She comes in every month to shop. So we invite them in to shop for free, and I've just gotten to know her. And during the car care, she brought in her little girl who she hadn't had custody of before. And this sweet little girl is laying on the couch in Yada. And I said, oh, it's great, you know, would you let her go to vacation Bible school with us, all of that? And she's like, sure, I mean, you could take her, that'd be fine. So this summer we picked her up for 2 weeks, and we did a sports camp here at High Point, and then we took her to the music camp here. And during music camp, the little girl prayed to follow Jesus. And we have stayed in touch with their family, and we made sure, Brian helped us make sure we got bunk beds for them. And it's just been a really cool just relationship that we have built. And it's just through saying, oh, do you want a new pair of jeans and a sweater? And could we help you with some dishes or a bunk bed? And so it's just been a really cool thing.
That's amazing. Beth, where is Yada?
So we are in Middleton, right next to the Bruce Company.
Okay, and you take donations there?
We do.
What are you looking for especially?
So we take clothes, but housewares and furniture are the big thing that we are in need of.
And those go to whoever wants them, but primarily to the women who you're ministering to in the city.
There's about 25 that come very consistently to shop.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What can the people here do for you in your ministry at either Yada or Jesus Lunch?
Jesus Lunch, you can pray. It is a whole new generation of kids that don't know anything about Jesus, but are totally searching for Jesus. They want truth, and we show up every week and show them the love of Jesus. For Yada, it is really cool just to raise awareness that there's trafficking actually happening in Madison, and how we can be a part of that. And it's really, I feel like there's a saying that says, you can look at the bullseye and be like, oh, that bullseye is so big, I don't even know where to start. Or you can look at the bullseye and be like, it's so huge, I couldn't miss. And I think that's kind of our perspective is if you just do something, it will help.
I love it.
And so, yeah.
If you're wondering what to do, just do something. Right? Take a tip from Beth. Please congratulate Beth for all the work that she's doing. Another one of the ministers